experience because this team is easier than most, dare I say.
I suppose, but in the position that Samsung's in, I don't think you can be taking those risks. I think you got to go full KT. You got to be one of our best 4 players. Let's put them out every single time.
Especially when they're in this position as well, when they're at such a bad ranking in the lineups halfway through the year already.
7th place.
That's
only
horrible.
Ahead of Prime. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah.
So here's BrAvO. Like we said before, he really only plays TVT most of the time. We don't get to see him all too often. He's 3-1 versus T. So definitely the strongest matchup. And no games against MarineKing.
No ace matches, no games. Yeah, this guy he hasn't been exposed very much. You know, we just never get to see this guy really at all. So I'm very excited to see him, see what he's got capable of. And should do pretty well against someone like MarineKing. I'm very curious to see where MarineKing is right now. He went through so much crap recently with all this drama, these accusations of him throwing games and whatnot. 0-6 against Terran. I didn't know it was that bad, Valdez.
It is that bad, man. And we were talking about Solar's loss streak and his, the losers ranking, whatever the jokes we were saying. But MarineKing definitely down there as well. He's got to pull himself back and get back to that old MarineKing that we all know and love. That's what everybody's hoping for. Yeah, well, let's see if he can start it up again today. You know, he did have that big break, so it's his chance to really redeem himself and show some great games. Yeah. Not cutting his hair in a while. He's got that nice little brim over his glasses, showing that he's focusing only on StarCraft. That's what we want to see. That must be why, Valdez. You know, he's simply just in that nerd cave all day long. And who wouldn't love to be there? Guys, we're about to jump into game number 4 on Coda. A TVT coming ahead, and look at this. BrAvO gets all 6 votes. That is not a surprise, not even a little bit, Moonlid. No, considering where these players are at, a pretty safe bet, I think. Oh, yeah. Unless it gets voided. Let's go to the game. Down here in the bottom right in the red from Samsung Galaxy Con, it's BrAvO. And up here in the top left, the MVP player, MarineKing. Welcome back, sir. It's always a pleasure. 2 times 2 equals 4. That it does. Well done, Moonglade. You're on point today. Thanks, man. I'm going to see that other cheerful? I guess not Valdez. I was looking forward to it. We know what happens. Maybe she just worked too hard on the other ones. Whoa, look at that rank. Look at the winner's prediction there, 50-50. Yeah, 50-50. These players aren't too known yet. Like, they aren't too exposed currently. Like, MarineKing used to be one of the greats. You know, he used to be one of these fantastic players. And BrAvO, just this other player that we just don't get to see that often. You know, so it's hard to, like, really put all your money on that guy. It's hard to be certain. You know, this is a very hard match. Wasn't hard for me, Moonlade. That was an easy prediction. All right. Cheering for BrAvO here. Oh, nice. Good. Excellent to see. Let's see where these players start off. See the first mix-up, like a very small one, a bit of a quicker gas coming out of MarineKing before going the SCV for just a little bit. Not too much of a difference. No, not too much of a difference at all. We actually see that BrAvO is going to be the first to scout. I actually like this out of BrAvO because he's saying, you know, it's a mirror matchup. Every worker is very, very important, but you're MarineKing. I want to know what you're doing exactly. See if you are doing some kind of shenanigans, maybe like 2 ranks proxy or even like proxy marauder or something. I mean, it's not really MarineKing's style, but maybe MarineKing kind of on a downward slope. You can get a bit pressured into doing those kind of builds, Moonglade. Yeah, definitely, Valdez. I agree. And the SCV scout is going to have a scout off. It's going to be okay. Reaper opening. I getcha. And we're actually seeing Marines being made from BrAvO, so he's going to go into a quicker factory from here. I like this. Now, I'm curious to see what kind of style we're going to see from BrAvO. He's still such a mysterious player for me because
I just never get to see this guy or really cost this guy's games. I think a lot of the time you and Wolf have really talked about BrAvO in the past.
I think it does turn out that way, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to see this SCV be a bit sneaky. He's going to the top right.
Ooh. Now, is this just the hide until he gets a later scout? It could be. Or he could throw something up there, like a starport, perhaps. Factory already on the way in the main base, and a second gas as well.
Maybe he's thinking, like...
Uh-oh. Reaper going to get in here.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a little bit of a later scout coming in, just to see possibly the CC timing. Hides it for a long time. He knew that a Reaper was coming out on the map, so he just wants to hide that SCV as much as possible. Not a bad idea, actually.
All right.
Now he's just staring at the CC.
Sees the CC. He's like, okay, I get it. CC's here. Gonna harass it even. Might as well, considering the Reaper's over the other side of the map. Second Reaper there should be the one to try and clean it up. He's gonna delay it for a little while there.
Wow.
Ooh. Imagine he got the kill, how tilting that would be, especially to someone like MarineKing.
Oh, yeah.
He'd just be like, well, I just give up. I just give up.
It's funny that kind of thing actually does happen quite often to MarineKing as well.
It'd be actually a thing to look for, you know. Try and find a way to tilt him during the game. And if you get an SCV kill on the CC with another SCV, like something so unheard of, something that just never happens, like it would just tilt you so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Mine coming out as well as a Banshee on the way. BrAvO.
Sneaky guy. It's going to be Banshee with Cloak even, but already we do see MarineKing putting down an engineering base, so he will be safe as long as he puts up those turrets.
And MarineKing not really investing in any more Marines right now as well, so could we even see mech from this fella? That would be a little bit different. That'd be definitely mixing it up, because MarineKing has always been the kind of player that goes Marine tank more than anything else.
Yes. I mean, he's thrown in some weird builds at times. You know, I think we saw, like, Mass Viking versus Thor one time out of him. It was kind of an embarrassing game. I don't really want to bring it up
Viking
anymore.
Hellion?
It was something weird like that, and it just did not work out.
I remember that. That was nasty. That just fell apart completely.
Yeah.
Not a good style.
Well, we are going to see the first Banshee come out, try to do some damage, but already 3 turrets are set up by MarineKing, and even a Viking. So... seems like he was tipped off in one way or another. Maybe the Reaper got a scout, and he's saying, okay, you're probably going to the Banshees. Maybe he saw both gases, and he's like, okay, I know what you're doing.
All right, I was thinking Tech Lab going to that Brax, so it might just be Marines after all. Going to be trying to mix it up too much. We'll see. Just a lot of Hellions for now. This is the style we've seen a lot from MarineKing. Maybe staying true to it. You know, Viking, Hellion. We're seeing more of the same. But now he finally adds a tank, and ooh, got to be careful with this Banshee. BrAvO. Not finding anything yet.
Yeah. It's incredibly hard, too, when there's 3 turrets down and 2 Vikings. He's going to somehow find one. But even look at this missile turret in the main. A very good position, especially on the map. Just down a little bit to the south, cutting off an angle there on those gas drones. But BrAvO, he will commit to 2 Banshees total and then go into a Raven.
Wow. 2 more Vikings on the way as well, so we're seeing the very similar style from MarineKing that time we were talking about, actually, where it just completely failed. And he's going to go for that similar sort of composition. Adding a tank, though, or a couple of, actually. So Hellion with a lot of Vikings. Wouldn't it be funny if he got a cancel on this thing? I never would happen there.
He's got a little nook here in between the detection of the 2 missile turrets. And he does even get that CC. Or rather, the SCV. 2 armor, he's coming down. Looks like it will be that mech out of MarineKing.
Yeah, I'm thinking very similar for BrAvO as well, Valdez. Second factory on the way. No armories just yet, so he will be behind in upgrades. But more of the same, just going for that Banshee play instead of the defensive Viking play.
So although he will do some harass damage, MarineKing does get his 3rd CC up a bit faster, and he also does get more Vikings in the air, so he's going to have a bit of a lead in that air transition. Air control for TVT can sometimes be very important.
Especially in tank versus tank. It's always going to give you the positional advantage and the sight to actually shoot other tanks from maximum range.
Also, if you get enough of a lead, you can add in a bunch of Banshees, which are really good against mech, if you can get a good position of them.
There we go. Very important scan from MarineKing. Sees 2 factories and that starport with the reactor, so he knows will be a battle for that air. Let's see if MarineKing's going to actually invest into more Vikings from here. I think that would be the choice, and there we go. 2 more on the way. So he's going to try for that air dominance. Both of them have their 3rd CCs up and running as well. So very passive early game. Just mech versus mech.
Yeah, it's really going to be all about those engagements. We say it all the time in TVT. It's all about positioning, trying to get a little bit of harass damage on your opponent, but also just looking for ins and outs, trying to get positions with your tanks, putting on pressure, stuff like that. Small differences can be made in upgrade advantages. You do see MarineKing slightly ahead in his 1-1.
We're seeing every Terran go mech today, Valdez.
Yeah.
Every single one.
That's really strange.
Even against Protoss. How about that? We're seeing like tech versus every single race today. It's kind of a treat.
Yeah,
we just never would,
nice.
Never would expect this.
We are going to see MarineKing commit to Blue Flame before BrAvO. Both players making a bunch of Hellions, but it looks like MarineKing going to commit much more heavily to it. He's making 5 at a time. They want to go for run buys. Just looking at this map a little bit, you know, definitely at that 3rd base, you can come up that left ramp and come in and get some decent damage done if there isn't a wall done.
Yeah, very interesting to see where the positioning happens on this map as well. A lot of interesting chokes around the middle as well. That Zell Naga Tower is going to be so important when these armies start to move out. Just gives so much vision, so much control. It all comes down to positioning more than anything else in this matchup, or pretty much any PvP, any mirror matchup,
yeah,
including PvP.
So here's the first move out of a ton of Hellions coming in. BrAvO only going to commit 4. And there's already tanks in position here, so this is going to be shut down very heavily. Everything just gets crushed.
Wow, not even an SCV. Evaporated there.
Blue Flame finishes for MarineKing. The wall's not done, but he's not going towards that 3rd base. Checking over here first.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to really commit this many Hellions. That'd be kind of a waste if he tried to suicide them for SCV kills, but that's like a majority of his supply in Army. He's just building up these armies, Valdez, waiting to get to near max before they try and make their moves on the map. Tanks, Vikings, and Hellions. 2-2 on the way for both as well.
Very, very passive. We see MarineKing committing to more units. That's why he is quite ahead in his army supply. Uh-oh, a bit of a mistake here from BrAvO.
Yeah.
But the one thing that BrAvO does have going for him is, I guess, like the production is going to be a little bit better. Later on, he does get that 4th CC up as well. And even a 5th CC in the main.
That mech Terran greed right there. Looks like we are going to see MarineKing be the one to consider moving out. Big scan, though, on his army, so he knows the exact composition of MarineKing from BrAvO. MarineKing doing the same.
Yeah. MarineKing saying, okay, I guess I'll just put down my base, too. You're going to be this passive. I'll play that game.
Yeah, let's have a look at these Viking counts, actually. Something that we've kind of skimped on. 14 to 2 right now.
What?
Big investment from BrAvO. He wants to be positionally, he wants to have that advantage.
Yeah.
And that's why we did see MarineKing add a couple of Thors as well, so we can zone out the air, make sure Banshees cannot poke away at these tanks.
You know, I'm actually liking the composition of MarineKing here. He's
got
impressive. So many Hellbats, 26 and 10 Hellions as well.
Well, let's see if they're going to actually get anything done, because these Medivacs are going to be looking to drop on top of tanks, but with this many Vikings, it's going to be hard-pressed to do so. BrAvO is always going to be in position for it. And here we go, MarineKing going for the kill.
He's got 2-2 finishing up here. The drops are going to come in. The Vikings not in position. And he's pushing forward. All these Hellbats tanking pretty heavily for this.
Ooh, getting a siege up as well. Not many tanks went down for BrAvO, though.
The Vikings lands here defending those tanks in the back. And it doesn't look like MarineKing's going to be able to break this, but at the same time, pretty even fights.
If he can wipe out these Thors, the Banshees come in and clean everything up. Straight up. And there we go now. They're cloaked. They're coming in. 2 Thors. They're both on dire red. They can die in a couple of shots each.
He's going to turn his scan. He kills both of them.
So fortunate that they were grouped together like that. I think if they were split apart, these Thors would not have got the kills.
Whoa.
That was a close call for MarineKing. Now that, you know, that air advantage really came into play that time. He just couldn't find enough. He did actually get the perfect Hellbat drops, but
yeah, he got both of them. I mean, the Medivacs did eventually go down, but
still gave him like the air advantage, the vision advantage there, and the tanks held strong for BrAvO, so they're going to kind of reset their armies from here. Let's see if MarineKing's going to go into the similar sort of fashion, because we did see him add 6 Hellions at a time. So he's going to have 6 Hellions, 3 tanks at a time right now.
Yeah,
big investment.
Super heavy Hellbat composition here from MarineKing. Bit of a mix-up. Usually see, you know, in TVT just a heavy commitment to tanks, and of course maybe an eventual air switch. This is going to be cleaned up easy. BrAvO never gets that blue flame, and of course having less Hellions there.
MarineKing going to be miles ahead with 3-3 upgrades as well. Not sure if it makes that much of a difference when it comes to mech versus mech. Tanks are still going to just destroy everything in seconds, but every little bit helps.
For sure. We're going to see how that drops once again. He's going to scan here, but not confident to go for it just yet. Looks like he wants to possibly move into towards that third base. Down towards the bottom left.
Yeah, the one thing that MarineKing does have is a much more mobile army. He does have so many Hellbats, there's so many things to kind of just move around and get into good positioning. But he's always going to be the one that's trying to be aggressive and try and get the jump onto BrAvO, because BrAvo's just going to have that more robust composition if it's all set up in time.
For a second, I thought MarineKing had nothing back at his base because he was maxed out. But it looks like he does keep some Hellions back there to defend.
BrAvO going to try another angle here.
Going to come in with 2 Hellbats. Finally gets that blue flame. A lot of Hellions here, though, to clean everything up. He's going to lose 7 SCVs, but that's all good.
Not too bad. Supplies are essentially both maxed out at this point. It's going to all come down to positioning. MarineKing thinks he's found it, though. That 4th base not too exposed. His tanks, though, are a bit naked, and it's going to give MarineKing the opportunity to get a nice concave top of this ramp.
He's got those Hellbats in the front, taking a lot of this tank fire from BrAvO. It's going to force that lift, and a lot of these SCVs bunching up, although not many will go down.
Oh, BrAvO going for a bit of a flank with 3 tanks. Not sure if that's on purpose. I hope not. Not going to find much. He's going to try and Hellbat drop them as well. Oh, nicely done as well.
Oh, but a good position here from BrAvO. He's got those tanks sieged up, and MarineKing not able to fight into that.
No, look at that supply advantage now for BrAvO, actually. After all the trades have happened, 20 supply lead. Not a bad one.
Yeah.
Had to relocate, though, Vela, so his economy got cut down a little bit with that 4th base flying down to the bottom left.
It seems like, meanwhile, BrAvO sticking heavily to the same composition, but MarineKing going for a big switch into battle cruisers, as well as Ravens.
I think it's the right choice, considering what we see from BrAvO right now. He's even adding Thors, so he has no intention of going back into Vikings yet. I'm sure he will change his mind when he sees VCs on the way. He'll think twice about it. He really needs to start committing to anti-air.
Yeah, well, he needs to see it, too. That is part of what you get. I mean, these guys have so many scans, but he's not scanning that main base just yet. Maybe if he goes for another drop, he could see it with the drop.
Yeah, it's all in the main base. Fusion Core, 3 starports, pumping out these BCs. And here we go again. MarineKing actually going up the ramp. There's a lot of tanks here. This might be a waste.
He takes so many shots, and he's going to break the tank line, but eventually BrAvO will get over here, and MarineKing's going to lose so much stuff.
40 supply lead now for BrAvO. He could go for a huge counterattack.
And look at this. Hellion run-bys into the 3rd and the 4th here. Everything that's cleaned up. 20 SCVs go down.
And now he could actually take down this 4th base, too, if he wants to commit to it. I think he has an idea that MarineKing just lost way too much there. He threw everything away. He's down 100 supply. These BCs are only coming out now. They're miles away from being that efficient. You know, what are 3 BCs going to do against a mech army? It's going to take forever for him to clean them up.
Well, now he's essentially on 2 base. He's going to lose that 4th base. This is barely managing. He's getting the gas, but I mean, just look at the supplies. They tell a story. BrAvO will have to back up here with the BCs, but he can easily go back home, remake his composition, tailor towards those BCs, and just be totally fine.
Yeah, he's retreating for now. He could definitely just start doing some counterattacking with his units and create more time for him to get the counter up he needs. So he's going to sit next to these turrets. Might be the wrong idea. Maybe he needs to start making a move out in the map, create some space by counterattacks. Going to be losing a lot of tanks, but this Thor gets Yamato down.
Yeah, Yamato's so important. And now these 3 VCs actually finding a decent amount of damage, but you see half of BrAVO's army just going straight for that base over here. Not going to allow MarineKing to mine there. He's going to Yamato down the missile turret now.
BrAvO kind of faltering. I think he could be using all those units that are at the at that 5th base.
Yeah, I think he's just freaking out a bit.
He's like, well, what do I do against this? For starters, put those Thors in the high impact mode so they can start doing some real damage to these VCs. But he is freaking out, man. Trying to repair everything up.
But at the same time, MarineKing, he just fly over a bunch of turrets, and 2 of these VCs going to go down.
And look at the supply difference still, Valdez. Still around 100 supply difference. 5 Hellions getting into the natural where a lot of SCVs are.
Oh, they're all bunching up. They all get killed. 15.
It's going to be a lot more than that. So many in one mineral patch.
Yeah.
His economy is in shambles.
No mining for MarineKing at the natural either. He's going to regain mining and control of that top right base. But you guys can see the amount he's mining in the top left with that income tab.
Yeah, that's horrible. A third of the income.
Ugh. Yuck. Gross.
And here we go. Thors are here. They're in high impact mode, so they're going to be doing a lot more to these VCs finally. And
Widow mines.
Big Widow mine hits.
Oh boy. And that was MarineKing's last hope. That's all he gets, and the pouting begins.
It does indeed. He is down so much supply. Whoa, he's down 140 supply, Valdez. I've never seen someone be so down supply and not leave the game.
He's got a gigantic bank. He can't even really use it right now.
The mines are back. They're looking for the hits.
Nice hits on the Vikings. Command center's going down. BrAvO wants MarineKing to leave the game. Look at all these CCs coming down.
That's the way to do it. And disappointing game for MarineKing. Is looking good for some time there. The air switch was real. It was good. I liked it a lot, but he threw away too many units too quickly, and the counterattacks tore him apart before he could get it up and running.
Yeah. It was that one attack, you know, onto that tank line. That one time he just committed way too many units. GG. BrAvO will win the game and give the victory to Samsung Galaxy Con. A 3-1 victory. Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, they really needed a win like this. So important for this team. Get some more wins on the board. Start doing a lot better in these last 2 rounds, or they will not make it to that final playoff.
So BrAvO eventually takes that win. It was a long, hard game. Saying no, MarineKing. Don't stay in my game.
Is that what he was saying?
I will crush you.
I don't know. He's very confident in his TVT. I like that. No, he's definitely a TVT sniper.
Yeah.
Everything else, though, he's got some work to do.
For sure.
Great game today from BrAvO.
Solar giving some tips to BrAvO, although he was the only player to go down today to Gumiho.
Now, I wonder who's going to be the MVP today, Valdez. Looking at who's won these games.
I would love to see Reality.
Oh, yeah.
With his mech style against Yonhwa. I want to see him go into an interview.
That'd be a great idea, actually.
We don't even get to hear much from him as well, so.
It's very rare that he does get those wins, and if he's going to get a win with mech against Kratos, and damn it, I want to hear that.
Yeah, I want to hear what he's got to say about that matchup. Here is today's match result for the first match of tonight. There's another one coming later. Do not miss that, guys. You want to stick around. It's going to be SKT versus CJ, arguably the star matchup of tonight. And, of course, here you do see Gumiho taking out Solar with his mech style, but then Reality, Deer, and BrAvO taking out 3 MVP members, 1, 2, 3. I think we will be jumping into that interview very shortly.